Welcome students. Today we begin our journey into Indian philosophy. Philosophy at its core is not a luxury or an abstract game of ideas. It is perhaps a necessity because every human being, whether consciously or unconsciously, lives by some philosophy of life. Even the most ordinary person has certain assumptions about what is valuable, what is real, and how life should be lived. The difference is that some people live with a clear, well thought out philosophy, while others live with a confused or an unexamined one. The very word philosophy means love for knowledge or love for wisdom. It is our attempt to answer the deepest questions of existence, such as who we are, what the world is, whether God exists, why there is suffering, and what the true goal of life might be. In this sense, philosophy is not only about speculation, but about the human need to live meaningfully in the light of knowledge. Now, Indian philosophy, like Western philosophy, deals with the great areas of inquiry such as metaphysics, epistemology, logic, ethics, and psychology. But it differs in one important respect. In the West, each of these branches tends to be treated separately, often as independent fields. However, when it comes to India, philosophy is quite synthetic. Every school of thought attempts to consider all aspects of human experience together. When an Indian thinker explains reality, he also explains knowledge, morality, and liberation all within the same framework. This unity is a hallmark of the Indian philosophical outlook. Now, what do we mean when we speak of Indian philosophy? It is not simply confined to the Hindu thought alone. The term covers the reflections of Hindus, Buddhists, Jainas, and even materialists like the Charvakas. This broad inclusiveness shows the openness of the Indian mind, which was never afraid of opposing views. A very important method developed where first the philosopher would carefully present the opponent's position called the Purva Paksha. Then he would offer a refutation known as Khandan. Finally, he would establish his own conclusion which is called the Siddhanta. In this way, philosophical debate in India was rigorous, respectful, which led to remarkable clarity and thoroughness. Traditionally, the schools of Indian philosophy are classified into two groups: Astika, the orthodox systems, and Nastika, the heterodox systems. This distinction is not based on belief in God as one might assume, but on acceptance of the authority of the Vedas. The six orthodox schools are Mimamsa, Vedanta, Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, and Vaisheshika. Among the heterodox schools, the main ones are Charvaka, Bauddha, and Jaina. Interestingly, even systems like Sankhya, which do not accept God as the creator of the world, are considered orthodox simply because they respect the Vedic authority. This shows that in Indian thought, scriptural authority often mattered more than the theistic belief. Now, despite their differences, these schools share certain common features. Well, first, philosophy is regarded as a practical necessity. It is not pursued merely for intellectual curiosity, but to guide life towards the highest goal. Every Indian thinker begins by asking, how does this philosophy help in human fulfillment or purushartha? Second, all systems except the materialists like Charvakas are deeply spiritual in outlook. They begin with a recognition that ordinary life is filled with suffering and bondage, but they hold the view that liberation is definitely possible. A certain unifying principle here is the law of karma. According to this law, every action produces consequences, good or bad, which the doer must experience. Now, just as a seed grows into the plant that corresponds to it, actions inevitably yield their proper results. This law explains why lives differ so widely in happiness, knowledge, or fortune. Some schools like Nyaya and Vaisheshika place this law under the guidance of God who dispenses results. Others, like the Jainas, Buddhists, and Sankhyas, see karma as an autonomous principle working without divine intervention. But in every other case, karma ensures moral order in the universe. Closely connected to this is the belief that ignorance of reality is the cause of bondage, and that true knowledge is the key to liberation. But knowledge alone is never enough. Just as merely knowing that fire burns does not prevent a child from playing with it, so also philosophical knowledge must be reinforced by meditation and by self-discipline. Without steady practice, our old habits of desire, attachment, and aversion overpower reason. This is why Indian philosophy places such emphasis on yoga, meditation, and ethical training. Knowledge must become a lived reality, not just an idea in the mind. Another remarkable feature is the vastness of the Indian conception of time and space. While many Western traditions imagine the world to be created only a few thousand years ago, Indian thinkers on the other hand spoke of countless cycles of creation and destruction stretching over millions and millions of years. The universe for them is beginningless and endless. Against this cosmic backdrop, earthly life appears small and fleeting. This gave Indian philosophy a detached outlook. While material conditions come and go, the spirit is eternal. Life therefore must be used wisely as a rare opportunity to seek liberation. In summary, Indian philosophy is not a single doctrine but a family of systems, some theistic, some atheistic, some dualistic, and some monoistic. What unites them is the conviction that philosophy must help us live better, overcome suffering, and attain freedom. In the lectures to come, we will study these systems one by one, beginning with the materialist Charvakas, then moving to Jainism, Buddhism, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Mimamsa, and finally Vedanta. Each system offers a unique perspective, yet all contribute to the grand mosaic of the Indian thought. As you listen and reflect, remember this: Indian philosophy is simply never about theories and books. It is about life itself, how to think, how to act, and ultimately, how to be free. To access the remaining lectures, you can simply check out the link in the description box and access all the lectures remaining. Thank you.